Hey friends, I hope you've had a fabulous week and welcome back. Now, in today's episode, I want to talk to you about the difference between being average and being excellent. Okay, and what does this mean to you? So I've been doing kind of some preparation for this podcast, digging deep and kind of looking at the people that I work with, what the difference is between those people, those that kind of are showing up and wanting excellence out of their life or their career or their health or their business, whatever it might be. And even kind of looking at myself and going, what do I do to kind of help myself go next level, okay? What do I do? So here are kind of like my top tips that we're going to go through. What I believe, okay, is the difference between showing up as average, okay, or showing up as excellent. So the first thing I want to talk about is around your mindset, your values, and also your limiting beliefs, okay? So to me, are you someone who's continuously seeking opportunities, okay? Do you feel like the options are limitless? You believing in your abilities, you feel like, there's always some great next big thing that's coming and, your health is fabulous, you're improving, all the things. Because I believe that it's super important, okay? If you want to strive for that excellence level, you need to be aware of what's going on with your mindset. You need to be aware of what your values are, what is important to you, okay? What is important to you in that context? And also the limiting beliefs or limiting decisions that you have around that, okay? Because the average person, for example, is going to have most likely a fixed mindset. They're going to be putting a lid on the level of success, okay? And they're going to be possibly not believing in their own abilities. They're not going to be believing that they can achieve it, that maybe there's not enough work out there. There's not enough clients out there, and they're going to have those limiting beliefs. They're going to be capping themselves and their potential. So have a bit of a think around that. Are you someone who has that positive growth mindset? What are your values around this context? Okay, what's important to you about it? And just sit down and ask yourself, what's important to myself, about my life, what's important for me and why is that important to me? And dig deep to kind of find out what your values are, what your morals are. And also dig deep with regards to your limiting beliefs. Like, are you aware that you may be telling yourself that, there's not enough work out there, or there's not enough clients out there, or I'll never achieve X, Y, Z? Okay, so that's the first thing. I believe you need to have a positive growth mindset, okay? You need to make sure that your values are in line with that, okay? Because if your values, if you're doing tasks or doing things, okay? Now pay attention to this one. If you're doing things or doing tasks that do not align with your values, it's going to be a very difficult task for you to do. Okay, you're either not, you're going to find that things are popping up and you're not going to want to do it, or it just doesn't feel right for you. So that's something to be very aware of. Now, next thing, consistency. Okay, what does consistency mean? So to me, consistency means like showing up, and it doesn't have to mean 7 days a week, okay? But it might, whatever it might mean for you, it might be business days, it might be 5 days a week, but it's like showing up even when you don't feel like it. Now, and it also means doing your not negotiables. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, I believe we all do this. I find myself doing this all the time. I have things that I need to do, certain days of the week. I plan myself. I have an ideal week as to if everything goes to plan, that I do certain tasks, certain things at certain times of the day. Now, they're my not negotiables, okay? So if something pops up and I can't do that task that day, am I not doing it? Or am I moving it to go, okay, look, really something hasn't gone to plan. I can't do that today. However, I'm going to get up earlier tomorrow morning and I'm going to do it first thing tomorrow morning. Or, you know what, I'm going to give up this tonight and I'm going to actually do that tonight. Like, what are your not negotiables? Now, do you ever find that you're maybe negotiating with yourself about your not negotiables? Okay. I've done it. I've woken up and gone, you know what? I don't feel like doing whatever it might be today. Do I really need to get it done today? Like even recording this podcast. Okay. Now I have a virtual assistant who actually helps me with the podcast. So I record it. and she is fabulous, and she's the one behind the scenes who will actually upload it, will actually kind of, put the intro, put the outro on, do a little bit of cutting at the beginning and the end and things like that. And she does that for me. But if I don't record and I don't follow through on the things that I'm meant to be doing for her, I'm going to make her jobs, difficult. And there are times where I may not feel like recording a podcast, or I feel like I haven't put enough preparation in yet, or I'm not ready, or is that topic what I want to record on this day? But I've got to do it. Okay, I've got to do it. I've got to jump on, and rather than negotiate with myself with like, should I do it today? What, I could just do it tomorrow and do this today. So that's what I'm talking about. What are your not negotiables? Okay. Are you showing up and are you doing them? Or are you negotiating with yourself and giving yourself an out? Okay. Because the difference again between being average and being excellent is those people that are showing up for their not negotiables. Okay. They're doing those not negotiables whether or not they feel like it or they don't feel like it. Okay. And these stack up. Okay. I'm not talking about one day you don't do your not negotiable. But if you're consistently doing all these tasks, consistently doing whatever it is, and focusing on the right activities, okay? Because quite often we focus on maintenance activities, things that we need to do, but they're not income producing activities that are moving our business forward, or they're not the real needle moving activities from a health goal that you might have or something like that. But if you're negotiating with yourself, and you're not doing them, but when you are, these little things are stacking up. They're stacking up on top of each other, on top of each other, on top of each other. And that's the difference between the average person and then the excellent person, okay? Achieving average results, achieving excellent results, okay? So what are your not negotiables? Do you know what they are? Now, my next thing is, if you are showing up as excellent, okay, you are doing personal development. You are doing some kind of continuous learning, whether or not it's learning new skills, whether or not it's, having a coach, having a mentor, someone to kind of help you go next level, somebody to ask you the right questions so that you can gain clarity and all those things, somebody who maybe is pulling you up on your limiting beliefs, that's the difference, I think, between an excellent person or excellent skills than an average person or average skills. Like the average person may be just happy sitting there content with their existing knowledge, okay? They're possibly not making it a priority to learn, to grow, to find out new ways to do things, to look for different opportunities that might be out there. And they're kind of capping themselves, okay? So what are you doing for personal development, okay? What are you doing to help yourself continuously grow on your skills, okay? Have a think about that one. Next one, clarity on your goals, focusing on what you want rather than what you don't want. So let's say that you have a business, okay, or a health goal. Are you focusing on that, okay? Are you focusing on what you want, or are you focusing on what you don't want, okay? Do you have a clear vision of what it is that you are going to? Do you know the direction that you're heading in? I like to think of this one like setting your GPS, okay? You need to set your GPS, and that way if you go off track, the GPS person is going to help bring you back on track and guide you back on track. But if you don't have a vision, if you haven't set your direction, if you haven't set your GPS, how do you know that you've fallen off track? How do you know that you've potentially going the wrong way? Okay, so are you clear on your goals? Are you clear on the direction that you're heading? Okay, and are you focusing on what you want? Are you pushing those boundaries, or are you staying in your comfort zone? Okay, the average person has most likely got themselves to somewhere where they're comfortable, okay, and they're happy there. They're comfortable. They're not pushing outside their comfort zone. They're not pushing their boundaries. They're keeping things very vague. They're limiting their goals, or worse, they don't even have goals, and they haven't decided on the direction that they're heading, okay? I'm pretty sure I've talked about this in a previous podcast. I know I talk about it with my clients all the time. It's like going to a coffee shop and not specifically asking for what it is that you want, okay? I'm sure there is a difference between asking, can I have a coffee, versus being specific, telling them the size, whether or not you want milk, whether or not you want a flavor, you want a shot of something, whatever it might be, Okay? There is a difference between asking for a coffee versus to being specific with what it is that you want. Okay? Having clarity around your goals, having clarity around the direction that you're heading in, and putting a plan in place. Okay? So, very important. The difference between being average and being excellent is definitely having clarity around your goals and making sure that you focus on what you want rather than on what you don't want. Okay? So, next one. I believe the excellent person, okay, has like an excellent, like they're prioritizing their customers and their clients, okay? They have a specific focus on their clients and their customers, okay? So, and what I mean by that is it's not about just getting sales. It's not about getting more bookings. It's not about that. They actually have a genuine intention to want to add value, okay? They have a genuine intention to provide exceptional value. They want to under-promise and over-deliver. You know, they want to prioritize that their customer or their client satisfaction and that they're getting the best service, okay? Getting the best product, the best whatever it might be. I believe that's a big difference between being average and also being excellent. And the last thing, the last one, I want you to ask yourself, what are you consuming? Okay. Now, I don't just mean food and drink with that. Okay. Although it is important because if you're operating a vehicle that operates on diesel and you're putting in fuel, it's not going to function as effectively. So yes, still be mindful with regards to what it is that you are consuming with regards to food and drink. Okay. However, what are you listening to? Okay. What are you consuming by way of listening to? Who are you hanging around? What are those people saying? What are those people doing? Because your unconscious mind is always listening. Okay, it is hearing if the TV is something is going on in the background. It is hearing, if you've got a best friend that's not offering you support or is not challenging you or your goals or things like that, or a partner or whatever it might be. So what are you listening to? Who are you hanging around? What are they saying? What are they doing? Because this is always going into your unconscious mind. And if you have limiting beliefs, okay, if you already have a doubt there around your abilities or around something, okay, your unconscious mind is looking for things out there that are going to help for that to be proved as a truth, okay? So what's going on around you, okay? Who are your top 5 friends? Who are the top 5 people that you spend the most amount of time around them? Are they in a positive mindset? Do they have a growth mindset? Are they, supporting where you want to go? Not saying get rid of them. I'm not saying anything like that, but I'm just saying to become aware of them, okay? Aware of what's going on around you, because ultimately, if you want excellence, what do you need to do, okay? What is it that you know that you should be doing that you're not doing, okay? Do you have limiting beliefs that you need to work on, okay? Are you learning? Are you growing? What are your not negotiables? These are all the things that you need to be asking yourself, because I believe that you can literally make just a couple of changes to get closer to that level of excellence that you're striving for, okay? So if you find out of these topics that I've brought to you today that you're not doing a few of them, don't try and start with all of them. Just add in 1, add in 2, and start slowly. And then you're constantly improving yourself, and then you're going to find that you're getting closer to that level of excellence that you want to achieve. Anyway, well, I hope this is helpful for today. Now, if you did find this helpful, or you feel like you have any friends or families or colleagues that need to hear this, I would love for you to share this episode. It means the world to me. And that way we get to be able to help more people as well and help our reach. So anyway, have a fabulous week, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.